Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading for this morning, your What's Cracking for Monday 29th of October. Can you believe it's the 29th of October? A couple of things before I go any further. The first one is I'm still 3 short of the weekly reads. I had to go out yesterday and didn't get Pisces, Libra and Capricorn done, so I'll do those later on today. When I come home from work probably. So I only have time in the mornings just to get your What's Cracking and your bonus read out, so I'll catch up this afternoon. So thank you very much for watching my channel. This morning I've been talking to Canada, Ireland and somewhere else, so I'm absolutely flabbergasted at how the channel has taken off. So I say thank you again to my subscribers, and I want to say thank you to anyone new being on board, because I think it's amazing that you've joined me too. And if you haven't yet, look, please join us. If my readings don't resonate with you, I do not take offence. You don't even have need to comment, you can move on. I had a strange comment yesterday and I thought if only people realise that I don't take it personally. It's your issue, not mine. So, if you're going to write something negative, I probably won't respond to it. If you want someone to jump on it, maybe try someone else. Okay, beautiful. So let's get cracking with this reading. Monday, 29th. Had to recoup there, forgot what day it was. So we have the Two of Swords coming out here. Now, this means a decision. It's a bit of a cutthroat decision here. I don't think you have all the information yet. The moon's quite large in this and really does shine out in this card, so I think there's secrets here. But I think somebody's about to reveal something for you, and I got that this morning when I was doing my good mornings on my Facebook page. I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of closure this week on things, but I definitely got the feeling this morning that doors were being closed. So the Two of Swords is a card where it shows a woman who's blindfolded because she doesn't want to see the truth, and that's okay. Because I think the truth is coming to you through this moon, and I think you will be either cutting someone out or speaking a truth here. You could be choosing to make an apology to someone too. There's a strong feeling of apology in this card. Okay, so the first card out we have is the Five of Wands. Now, sitting with the Two of Swords, I would understand why. The Five of Wands often talks about conflict between people. It can be bickering or arguing, but a lot of the time it can be us in our heads questioning where we're going, what we're doing. So it's very much a card of fighting with ourselves, I guess, is the best way to say this. And with the Two of Swords there, it would make sense, you know, that perhaps you were inside your head a little bit sort of thinking that over. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So these cards are all fitting beautifully this morning because the Four of Pentacles does talk about hanging on to something. And certainly if you're trying to make a decision over something, whether that be an apology, you know, or something that you need to cut out, this feeling of overthinking it with this Five of Wands would make sense. It's funny with the Five of Wands because the overthinking sort of brings forth the Swords energy, but always with this Five of Wands it's about conflict, but for me it's often about inner conflict, not outer conflict. So I feel like you've hung on to something because you've had no closure on it. This is the way it's feeling, and as I said, I got up with this feeling this morning. There's been no closure to some sort of situation, and I feel like this week you're going to get the opportunity to stand on that in some way, shape or form, whether that's you apologising, someone else apologising, words between you, perhaps some bickering like in this Five of Wands, but at the end of the day, whatever you've been hanging on to now will get resolved this week. I feel like it's just a week of resolutions. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So you may, after you've gone through this, you may choose to work with this person. So I don't know if this is a work situation or personal situation, but this card sort of says to me there's a good outcome here, and you might choose to work with this person afterwards. So maybe it's an apology after something happening in a relationship, but you decide to give it another go. Or it could be something at work that someone's apologised for, but you're able to let this go and still work with them going forward, because you're still creating here. And that's nice, because, you know, it's nice to have good outcomes when we've had a bit of, may cause a disruption of some kind though. Okay, so even though you may choose to work back on this, there's something within you that shifts. There's a shift here. Could be that you have a little bit of an epiphany or a breakthrough about something when you apologize or someone apologizes to you. There's definitely this feeling here of the world shifting for you. The Tower often talks about, you know, understanding that things have to change. It may be something that, you know, you have to change in order to move on with this person. You may have to, through this, understand that even though you've waited for an apology from them, maybe you feel that you've had a part in this, and it shifts your thinking a little bit. But the Tower can be, you know, it can be a big thing, or it can be a little thing. There is also some of you who may choose to go it alone after this situation, because we have the card of independence here. So there may be some of you after this apology that choose to move on without the other person. So I've got both situations here, which is quite interesting. So something from this apology, this conversation, will push some people in the direction of moving on, and some people will stay and work on this. I am feeling, especially now I've got the Strength card out, this Tower is here to bring in something for you to actually help you move forward. Please comment on this if you understand what's going on here. Because for me, it's like this Tower gives you this surge of independence and this strength. So maybe something you will understand or realize from this conversation helps you move forward. It propels you forward. And I like that, because it's like you gained something from this. Now, you might have been hanging on to something for a while and been conflicted about this, but maybe you haven't actually, you know me, no blame anywhere, but maybe you haven't realized your part in this. So maybe when this conversation takes place, there's a realization that you did something or said something that may have actually made this occur, made the problem exist. But I don't think you've realized you've done it until they say something to you. Okay, the Queen of Swords comes out next, and I like this because what this says to me here is that through this situation, it's like you understand, you have clarity enough to move forward. Now, you could be dealing with air signs here, so we're talking Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. But I feel this is more like the power of the moment. It's like you have this realization and this clarity to move forward. I love these three cards together. Look at this. This is like you've got this real surge of energy to sort of move on your path. So maybe something's been holding you back here, and maybe you haven't realized why it's been holding you back or what's been going on, but it's certainly lovely. Okay, so definitely moving on for some of you. Six of Swords here. So definitely an energy where you gather strength from this situation. Somebody tells a truth here that makes you realize something quick, smart. It's a good thing the Tower feels exceptionally good in this situation. So Page of Cups. Okay. Out of this, there's another offer, though. This is why I think you're having trouble either choosing to stay and work on something or to move on here. Very interesting, because there's another offer coming in here. And look at this. Okay, recap. Recap here. There's some sort of situation coming in where you need to make a decision. It could be a little bit fiery because we have the Five of Wands here. So it could be a matter of, you know, having to either go inside and have a look at your own energy, or there could be a little bit of energy comes up in this particular scenario. I feel like you've been holding on to something for a while, and you've been waiting for this person, this situation or whatever to unfold, but you haven't been sure how that's going to occur. Somebody's going to come forward this week, and they're going to present you with something. Now, from this, you will have some sort of realization, epiphany, and something to do with your part, your thinking, something you've done, will be brought to light here. Now you have the choice on whether you move forward on this or whether you pack up your boat and move off. If this is a relationship and an apology is coming in, maybe you've done or said something in the past that you didn't realize how much you hurt this person. Maybe you thought it was them. It could be about business or work where you've inadvertently said something to start some chain of events. But whatever it is, there's definitely a conversation and an apology here. The thing is, I feel that somehow or another it changes the other person's thinking too, because it feels like they come back with some sort of offer to you. If this is love, they could expose something, you could have a bit of an awakening, but they could want to stabilize this relationship because there's an offer of love coming in straight afterwards. If this is a business thing, then something to do with something you love will be offered to you afterwards, because look, you get the Empress at the end. So ultimately, I feel this is what you want, and I feel like it's very good, but I'm not sure which way you will choose to go, whether you'll take this offer or whether you will move away. I do think the offer's genuine. I do think that there's been a bit of a miscommunication here, some sort of problem or issue that perhaps has sort of spiraled, because I see you clinging on so tightly to this thing from the past. So I don't know what happened, but for me it's now about, do you accept this person, this situation, this thing back into your life, because you've been bowled over a little bit. The one thing I can say to you, though, is having the Nine of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Queen of Swords here says to me you've really gained power through this situation, which is really nice. So even though it may be hurting, cutting, you've hung on to it for a while, you may have overthought it for a while, there's some sort of good outcome for you at a personal level. Maybe it's just having the apology given to you has put you on a different path. So the card we got here from the Oracle is Burnt by the Sun. So I haven't read this one before, 28. So it's new for me too. Learning as I'm going. Burnt by the Sun. It says, you will never know your potential unless you go beyond the limits you have set yourself. You may not succeed, but you will know a great deal more about yourself than you do now, and you are certain to grow through the experience. Begin with baby steps and persist. I like that, because this is what this is all about. It's like this tower moment is about to change something for you. So whether the situation you choose to move forward with that is one thing, but this shoots you off in a very different direction. You've got this realization, and I feel like it's about yourself because of the way that Nine of Pentacles, the Strength, and the Queen of Swords are here, says to me it reinforces something within you, bears something within you. Maybe you lost this deep in your soul and it's brought it to the surface with this tower moment. But there's definitely some sort of an awakening, epiphany, and then whether you choose to accept, because I show you here, it's got you either walking away or accepting an offer. So it's your choice here. But you know what? You are the Empress. You get to make the choice. Oh, fantastic reading for a Monday morning. Thanks, everyone.